So I had a question about, I heard that Ein ben David Batshit Tichle Kol Haneshmot Baguf, and when I googled that, it pointed me to Yebamot Samech Bet, and so I always go to HebrewBooks.org, and here you can have, I click the text, so I'm going to now copy and paste it into the word editor. And this version of LibreOffice, which is a free office suite, happens to be an old version, which is 3.6.7.1. The reason why I use this one is because you can, the bold function is very good on this one, because even fonts that don't come with already like a bold version of the font, this particular version bolds the font really nice. So for example, if that's bolding and unbolding. Okay, so what I do, I change the settings so that I can, support right to left. And so I'm just going to set up the page now. I pick tabloid, text direction, right to left. And I just ignore the margins because I'm going to center everything anyway. And I just like to have more room on the page. So then I'm just going to hit OK. So yeah, the warning, it's fine. I accept it. Okay. So now I center the text. And I am going to link below that you could download all these really cool fonts. This one is my favorite font out of all of them, besides K'tav Ashurit, obviously, designed by Meir Sadan, who is a professional typography artist who graduated Betzalel. Anyway, this is the page. So basically, the student is going to have a block of text. And then, with that block of text, he can then go and break everything down. So I'm just linking this page at the top. Just so that I can reference it. Okay, so now we're in the middle of something. I've never seen this page before, but I've been doing this learning method, and so let's see how much I can understand right now until we actually get to my initial question. Okay. Mishai Efshar Ubeit Hillel Nami Leyilfu Mi Moshe. Apparently Beit Hillel should also learn from Moshe. So Beit Hillel, I always like to change the font when I see the letters. Bet. So that's the Simanim Aseh Batorah Vekneota. Beit is bite, and that's the letter bet. Beit Hillel Nami Leyalif. Yalif is to learn, and the key to learning is Lamed, is Lemod Torah. Leyalifu mi Moshe. Moshe, okay. Moshe, obviously. Baruch Hashem. I know what Moshe is. Moshe. Amre lach Moshe mida'atehu. Moshe from his own, Moshe himself said, David, Dethania, okay. Dethania is going to be a braita. Dethania, Shlosha dvarim asa Moshe mida'ato ve'eskimo. Da'ato l'da'at hamakom. Okay. Moshe did 3 things. So Moshe, I'm just going to highlight. This is Moshe, the character. Shlosha dvarim asa Moshe mida'ato. Da'at is the power of connection. Da'at is connecting Chokhmah and Binah, and that's seen in the letter Ayin, which is really a Zayin and a Nun attached together. That's Zachar and Nekeva. And Chokhmah and Binah is Zachar and Nekeva respectively. Veheskimu da'ato, Veheskima da'ato, and his da'at agreed with it. His mind agreed with it. Veheskima da'ato l'da'at hamakom. Interesting why they're using hamakom here and not ribono shel olam or anything else. Okay. Peresh min ha'isha v'shiber haluchot v'hosif yom echad. Okay. I don't, so he Apparently, this is what Miriam was upset about, that he pulled away from Tzipora, his wife, v'shiber haluchot, to show Bnei Israel that it's not, the luchot are not godly themselves. Only God is the thing that makes it godly, according to what I learned, right? Perish mina isha. Okay, so now we're going to discuss this one. So that was the Braita. Dithanya. I mean, so I could edit that later, make it nicer, just as a divider right now. Okay. So now Perish min haisha. My darash. My is the question. Amar Uma Yisrael. Amar. This is Moshe. This is what Moshe said. My darash. Amar Uma Yisrael shelo dibra imahem shchina ele lefi sha'a v'kava lahem zman amra Torah al tagishu el haisha ani shemeyuchad ledibur bechol sha'a v'sha'a velo kava li zman al achat kama v'kama v'heskima da'ato ledat hamakom shene'emar lech emor lahem shuvu lachem le'elohechem ואתה פה עמוד עמדי. אתה פה עמוד עמדי. לפי שעה. וקבע להם זמן. אמרה תורה. אוקיי, אל תגישו אל האישה. Okay, so anyway, sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to break this down, but the point is that this is how you should learn. This is how kids should learn, is that they start out with a block of text, they could change the font, they can break all the information down and begin to really understand. Like, this is a pasuk, so I'm going to make that bigger. This is probably Shmot, right? Shmot, Sefer HaGeula, and I don't know where exactly what pasuk this is, but this is by Har Sinai, I'm assuming, for 3 days. Ani shmechad dibur bechol sha'a v'sha'a lo kava li zman. Al achat kama v'kama, which is a lot, right? And that is kal v'chomer. So I would include the makom shene'emar, that there that's agreed. Shene'emar lechem or lahem shuv lechem lochem. It's interesting that the word po, it can be read pe. And according to Otiot de Rabbi Akiva, ve'ein Moshe ela pe ve'lashon, shene'emar kaved pe ve'kaved lashon anochi. That Moshe is the pe and the lashon, and the pe and lashon are the tools that we use for creation. Lechem or lahem shuvu lachem le'elohechem ve'ata po amod imadi. Amod has to do with the vav, because this is an amud, it's a pillar. Stand with me. Imadi. And what is the difference between amad and et? I mean im and et. Imadi or iti? Why imadi? Should be imi. So here, for example, I could add notes. Imi iti meba'e le. So that's my question. And the thing is that all these questions are going to get like question tags, and so that after, when you when you're in a different sort of, when you're on the different part of the website, you can just filter by questions, and you could see all your questions, and it's going to be, according to the location of it. Shibir haluchot, mai darash. What I'm getting, why is this mai darash? Amar uma pesach shehu echad mishesh me'ot v'shalosh yisrei mitzvot. Amra Torah kol ben nechar lo yachel bo. Okay. Oh wow, Reish Lakish. Amar Reish Lakish. Reish Lakish has to do with Reish and Kuf. Reish Lakish. Amar Reish Lakish. Amar le HaKadosh Baruch Hu le Moshe. So I like to. So this is Shmo Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Le Moshe. Moshe. Yasher kochecha sheshibarta. Shin has to do with breaking down, like your shinaim are the things that break down the food. Shibar. And then here's the tav, that shin and tav. I don't know. Moshe hosif yom echad midato. My drush, my darash. I don't know how to read that. My darash tichtiv v'kedishtem hayom v'achar. Hayom le'Elohimo v'layla de'ha'idna nafak le. So we still didn't. I didn't even get up to the answer to my question yet. So I'm debating whether I'm just going to continue this. V'layla de'ha'idna nafak le shema mina tre yome levar meha'idna. Chutz lebar is chutz, right? Bara is outside, the outdoors. Meha'idna, from right now, except for right now. V'layla deha'idna nafak le shma mina, right? I'm assuming that's shma mina. Shma mina, which means listen. Shma mina, understand from here, really. It has to do with the letter nun, shmiya. והסכימה דעתו לדעת המקום דלא שריה שכינה עד שבתה. תניא רבי נתן אומר תניא רבי נתן אומר Tanya is a new section. Tanya Rabbi Natan Omer. Ah, okay. That's what that was. Beit Shammai. Beit Shammai. Okay. Beit Shammai Omrim Shne Zecharim Ushte Nekevot. Now there, בית הלל אומרים. בית הלל אומרים זכר ונקבה. Is it significant, the word shnei and shtei? There's a difference between them. I think that one means they're identical and one means, I don't know. In the Vilna Gaon. Okay. Amar Rab Huna. Mai ta'ama de Rabbi Natan. Same wording in Masechet Brachot. Mai ta'ama de Rabbi Natan aliba de Bet Shammai. Is that the whole question? Dechtiv. ותוסף ללדת את אחיו, את הבל. הבל ואחותו, קין ואחותו. הבל ואחותו, קין ואחותו. Et is bal rabot, as in ריבוי is the first of the 32 midot שהתורה נדרשת בהם, רבי אליעזר בנו של רבי יוסי הגלילי. בכל מקום שאתה מוצא דבריו של רבי אליעזר בנו של רבי יוסי הגלילי, עשה אוזנך כאפרכסת, שנאמר הט לחוכמה אזנך. תוסיף ללדת את אחיו את הבל. Okay, so those words are very significant. Et 40. Et. I can bold it. See here it lets me bold this particular font. In the new versions, I could show you as an example once it opens. See? That's how it looks. It bolds it and you can't even read it here in the new ones. And here you could bold it and it bolds it gently, like a little bit. V'ktiv ki shat li Elokim zera acher tachat hevel ki hargo kain. What is the discussion here? Rabbi Natan Omer Beit Shammai Omer Shnei Zecharim Ushtei Nekavot. This is assuming how many were born to Adam and Chava. Shnei Zecharim Ushtei Nekavot. Ubeit Hillel Amru Zachar v'Nekeva. Amar Rab Huna Mai Tama de Rabbi Natan Amar de Rabbi Natan Aliba. Liba is Lev, which is 32. Aliba. The last letter of the Torah and the first letter of the Torah. Or really, once you realize that they're closed, that really, wow. Once you close a perfect circle, there's no beginning and no end. So it's very hard to say that that's the first word of the Torah, because really, what is the first? Where is the beginning of a circle? Because here it's I'm speaking abstract. Because on the thing that we do on Simchat Torah, as soon as we finish the Torah, we go right to the beginning. That means that the end leads into the beginning, which means that the whole thing is a circle. The whole Torah is a circle. So really, Shmot. What comes before Shmot? Bereshit. But what comes before Bereshit? Devarim. Really, if it's a circle. De Beit Shammai. Mai ta'ama. And that makes much more sense what Rashi is commenting, that Bereshit was created for who? Yisrael shenikre'u Reshit. And Yisrael, that's the last word of the Torah. Yisrael was right before Bereshit. That le'einei kol Yisrael are the last words of the Torah. Bereshit bara Elokim. Like in front of the eyes of Bnei Yisrael, Bereshit bara Elokim. It's very deep. Habal achoto, Hevel ve'achoto, Kain ve'achoto. So, I have to make a new logo for the 32 Lamed Bet Netivot 32 signs. 32, 1, which is Ribui. Midah. That's out of the 32 midot. That's the first midah. Ribui. Alright, so this should be here actually. No? Oh, whatever. It's okay. Et lerabot ketzad, right? כי שת לי אלוקים זרע אחר תחת הבל כי הרגו קין. שת is שקר ואמת. What does that mean? Shin and tav, שקר ואמת. כי שת לי אלוקים זרע אחר תחת הבל Ki hargo kain. So this is where I would use very significant to understand. Copy. Paste. Okay. I have a special file where I keep like symbols that I need to copy and paste. So here I have several of these. I have to combine them all together. So here. This is the star that I use for bina. Whenever you need bina, you want to know the difference between the word, you would add the star and then the definition would pop up. Because there's several words. Harag, Ratzach, Hemit, Hika. So what is the difference between these words? And this would help understand much better what's going on. So I'm trying to compile a dictionary also, Baruch Hashem, by the Vilna Gaon and the Malbim, and just anywhere else I could find definitions of words. For example, like when the Gemara explains the difference between Kriya and Hishtachavot in Masechet Megillah. Kriya is Ala Birkaim, and Mishtachaveh Zu Pishut Yadayim Viraglayim. So it's very important to have bina, to understand the difference between words, because there's no synonyms in Hebrew. Each word has its own unique meaning. It's not like English, which is so confusing, which is why it's a tragedy that we're being taught in English, and because everything gets translated as the same thing, and no one has any idea what the Torah is really saying. V'Rabbanan odio dekamodi. Dekamodis. I don't know what that means. Tanya idach. A second teaching. Rabbi Natan Omer. Rabbi Natan Omer. I always like to remove the abbreviations because when I'm learning, I need to see the full words, so then I would know when I see the abbreviation somewhere else, I could figure it out because I've been through it already. Beit Shammai. Okay, Beit Shammai. Probably copy that for Beit Hillel. Yeah. Beit. Beit Shammai omrim zachar nekeva. Beit Hillel omrim o zachar o nekeva. So here's a different version. Beit Shammai omrim zachar nekeva. I could leave it on, it might make it easier actually. Beit Hillel omrim o zachar o nekeva. Okay, so again, zachar nekeva. Amar Rabba. Okay, Amar Rabba. Mai ta'ama de Rabbi Natan aliba de Beit Hillel. What is the reason that Rabbi Natan teaches aliba de Beit Hillel, according to Beit Hillel? Mai ta'ama. This is so significant, this. Mai ta'ama. This is like the key question of learning. Mai ta'ama. What is the reason that Rabbi Natan aliba de Mai ta'ama de Rabbi Natan aliba de Beit Hillel? Okay, so here we can do that also. Right, it's Rabbi Natan, yeah. Okay. Mai ta'ama shene'emar. The goal is to let the students learn, to let the students try to break it down and then to ask the questions and to really try to make sense of it on the page and to write their questions on the side. And they shouldn't be tested because life itself is the test, and also learning is the real test. Just the real test is life, yeah. So the student should learn Torah not to study for a stupid test, but to need this information to learn how to live, and to just, it's so interesting that you don't ever want to pull away from it. That's why it's addicting. Lo tohu bara la shavet yetzra. V'ha'avad la Shabbat Yithmar hayu lo banim V'heyotho oved kochavim V'nitgayer. Who is this talking about? V'ha'avad la Shabbat. V'ha'avad la Shabbat. That he kept the Shabbat. Well, I don't know who they're talking about. Is that Adam Arishon? But Shabbat is such a significant word because when you learn the Aleph Bet, Shin is Sheker. Shin, Sheker, Tav is Emet. And Shabbat, like we said, Bina is important. Bet is Bina, is the in between. They all start with a Bet. That Shabbat is a day between Sheker ve'emet. And that's what we say, the Havdalah, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Lechol, ben Or, Lechoshech, ben Yisrael, La'amim, ben Yom HaShevi, L'Sheshet Yimei HaMaaseh, Baruch Atah Hashem, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Lechol. Ithmar hayu lo banim, beheyotho oved kochavim. Also, it's interesting, if Bnei Israel are considered like they were compared to kochavim. So like ovdei kochavim, those people like worship Bnei Israel, and that's the tragedy, because you worship Hashem, you don't worship the man, you don't worship the sage, you worship Hashem. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, and that's where Christianity went wrong. I mean, well, that's how it started, worshiping a man. That's Avodah Zarah. Kayam Parish v'Rabbia v'Reish Lakish Amar. Wow, Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. For everybody who has learned the Aleph Bet knows how significant these two are now. That these were an amazing chavruta. And Reish Lakish, specifically when Reish and Kuf, Reish Lakish Amar, Lo Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya. Okay. Reish Lakish Amar. Okay. Maybe it's easier like this. Reish Lakish Amar. Amar is not to say really. It's the thought. It's the opinion. It's what you think. Lo Kayam. Kayam, and this is Lo Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya. Yochanan Amar Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya. Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya. Deha havle. V'Reish Lakish Amar Lo Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya. Ger shenitgayer kekatan shenolad dame. Ve'azdu leta'amayhu de'ithmar hayu lo banim beheyotho oved kochabim benitgayer. Rabbi Yo, okay. Okay, Rabbi Yo, okay, so now looking at Deha havule. Reish Lakish Amar Lo Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya. So here we're quoting Pir He Reish Lakish Amar Lo Kayam Pirya v'Rabbiya Ger shenitgayer kekatan shenolad dame. Ger shenitgayer kekatan shenolad dame. That a person, ger is a convert that converted. Interesting. Ish shenitgayer mebaile. It should say a person who converted. Ger shenitgayer. A convert who converted. Maybe. Ger shenitgayer. Katan is like a katan. Katan has a specific meaning. Katan shelo talui al shulchan aviv. Katan is talui al shulchano shel aviv. Right, I think. Shenolad dame. That he's just born, he's a katan. Ve'azdu leta'amayhu. De amar. That's, we know, from the Shnai Mikra ve'echad Targum. De is always added on. De ithmar. The Ithmar hayu lo banim beheyotho oved kochavim v'nitgayer. De Itmar asher ne'emar. They arrived at their opinions. De Ithmar hayu le banim beheyotho oved kochavim v'nitgayer. So this is speaking ve'azdu leta'amayhu. Who are we speaking about? This is Reish Lakish. No. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Ein lo bechor lenachala deha havu le reshit ono. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Reish Lakish Amar Yesh lo bechor lenachala ger shenitgayer sheknan b'tzricha de'i ashmiyan behahi kamaisa behahi ke'amar Rabbi Yochanan Meshum Demeikara Nami Bene Pirya v'Rabbiya Ninhu Aval Inyan Nachala De Lav Bene Nachala Ninhu Ema Modi Le Reish Lakish Ve'iyeth Mar Beha Beha Ke'amar Reish Lakish Aval Behahi Ema Mode Le Rabbi Yochanan Tzricha Eithiv Ethive, means להשיב. Thav, if you pronounce it like the Teimanim, shav, it sounds like you're saying shav, but with a lisp, with like a burnt tongue. Thav, Rabbi Yohanan Leresh Lakish, ba'et hahi, Shalach bera'adcha bele'adan ben bele'adan, Melech Bavel vegomer. Amar le בהיותן עובדי כוכבים עת להו חיס, נתגיירו לעת להו חיס. נתגיירו עת and לעת. יש ואין. נתגיירו. אמר לה בהיותו עובדי כוכבים עת לחיס. נתגיירו לית לחיס. אמר רב הכל מודין בעבד שאין לו חיס, תכתיב שבו לכם פה עם החמור, עם הדומה לחמור. וואו. Mesive, right away. Mesive, meshivim, quickly. It's a quick response. Mesive, it's so much better when you pronounce it in that Teimani. I found it helps me recognize the word. Meshiv, mesiv. Veletziva 15 banim ו20 abadim. Amar Rab Acha bar Yaakov. Kipar ben Bakar, Amar, okay, Sha'ane is different. Sha'ane, Hatham, here's a tough, but Sha'ane is from the word Shone. Di Yichasinhu Bishmaihu Ubishma de Avuhun, so that they have Yichus, they have an in. The chesed, I see chasid, the word chasid right here. Chasid is mi shechas al adal. Bishme ubishme de avuhon. Av is significant. Av is the beginning. Av. Vehacha. Okay. Sha'ane. Okay. Hatham there, vehacha, and here, velo mefaresh. Hatham diyachasu bishmei bishmei de'abun. Hacha lo mefaresh. Ve'ibait, ema, ve'ibait, so there's 3 words here. Ve'i ba'it, if you want, ema, I will say, yichasinhu biduchta acharithi be'avuhun, ube'aba de'avuhun, dichtiv, vayishlach hamelech Asa el ben Hadad, ben Teverimon, ben Chazion, melech Aram, היושב בדמשק לאמור. בדמשק. לאמור. איתמר היו. איתמר, it was said, יש אומרים, יש שאמר, היו לו בנים ומתו. רב הונא אמר, איתמר, יש אומר, right? איתמר, היו לו בנים ומתו. רב הונא אמר, קיים פריה ורבייה. Rabbi Yochanan Amar Lo Kiem. Rab Huna Amar Kiem Mishum de Rabbi Asi de Amar Rabbi Asi. Rab Huna Amar Kiem Mishum de Rabbi Asi Asi de Amar Rabbi Asi. And here is the answer to the question that I originally asked. Like, what context is this in? En ben David ba ad sheyichle kol haneshmot shebaguf shene'emar. This is the key to see what the pasuk is saying. Ki ruach milifanei ya'atof vegomer. What? Rabbi Yochanan Amar lo kiyem pirya v'ribiya לשבת יצרה בעניין. Veha, and here, veha, it's like you could point at it. That's why it's like you're pointing with your finger. Veha, leka methive b'nei. Okay, before we get there, but here, let's just see. What is this pasuk? Ein ben David. That David is not coming. It's ben David. It's a son of David. Ben David is really Shlomo. Ben David is Shlomo. The wisest of all men. Ben David is Shlomo. Is 10. Shlomo, David, when David becomes filled with Chokhmah and the Yuds, right? Yud is Chokhmah. When David becomes filled with Chokhmah, he becomes Shlomo. That is Shlomo, because Dalet is really, Shlomo is Shalom He, the He Shalem. How do you make a He Shalem? You take a Dalet and you add a Yud here, and that is a Shalom. So here, if you imagine a Yud, or just the mouse itself, the mouse, here, so it's Hashem's name right here. And that's here. If you have HD art prints. Sorry. David and Shlomo. David and Hod, right here. So here Hashem's name, as you see, David. And when David is filled with Chokhmah, that is Vayivarech David et Hashem. That he became filled with Hashem. And then once the Dalet was filled with the Chokhmah, this is Shlomo. This is Hamelech Shashalom Shelo. And this is the Amud, Yaakov Sar HaTorah. Yaakov Amud HaTorah. Sorry, not Sar HaTorah. Yaakov Amud HaTorah. This is Norah. This is Agadol. Hagibor. Gibor is the ability to hold the Chesed. This can contain the Chesed. Abraham, wow, Ish Chesed. This is Yitzchak, who's Gvura, the concept of holding back. Hey is the ability to grasp concepts, as Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan Shlita explains. Vav is the Chibur Benehem. Wow. That the Vav, the Yud, and the Yud, that is Aleph. Aleph is made up of a Vav, a Yud, and a Yud. So this is really like this is two Vavs. Okay. So Shlomo, David becomes Shlomo when he is filled with Torah. Shlomo. Ba, Ad. Ad is significant, is until. And it's 74. Ad is also Ad is in Kriyat Shema. The two letters that are enlarged. And it's interesting when I was learning Brachot, that the first Mishnah begins, Ad Sof HaShmona Rishona. They're discussing Shema and they're saying Ad, which means until. And also, Kohen is Ayin He in Gematria. Ad is just until that point, and then, Ad is up until you become a Kohen. שיכלה כל הנשמות. נשמה is feminine. נשמות שבגוף. שבגוף. כי רוח מלפני יעטוף. Vegomer means it's finished. So see, this is why it's so significant also, that now we could take the pasuk and look at it and then bring the whole thing here, because you have to see the whole pasuk when they're saying Vegomer. So now I'm going to go to Tehillim. Well, just so that I can access the, so I could do a search. Yeshayahu, which means Hashem will save. Yeshaya, or just Yeshaya. Some write it that way, some write it this way. That was Nun Zayin. Zachar v'Nekeva. Taz. Naz Taz. Yeshayahu. Naz Taz. Okay. Shene'emar. Kirua. Okay, so now here I can quote. Oh. This thing, that's the thing about this version of LibreOffice, is it doesn't support Nikud. So, if I were to type this pasuk here, you could see that all the Nikud is completely shifted off. So I'm going to copy. I could try it in a different LibreOffice. Here you can see that it's going to work. Ki lo le'olam ariv velo lanetzach ekzof ki ruach milfanai ya'atof u'neshamot ani asiti. I just had this font made, Baruch Hashem, by Master Font, and we're in the middle of working out. Some of the Nikud gets a little bit overlapped in some places, like here maybe. But this is also, I'm using this version, so I don't know if it's the same in InDesign. Okay. Ki lo le'olam ari velo lanetzach ekzof. Okay, so right away, what is the difference? Okay, where are we going? Okay, that was a little weird. Okay, what is the difference between le'olam and lenetzach and selah? Okay, and also the different forms of anger. Ketzef. Ketz has the word ketz in it. Le'olam and lenetzach. Ki ruach milfanai ya'atof u'neshamot ani asiti. Okay, so I don't understand. Well. Ein ben David ba. Okay, so what are we speaking about? Ismar hayu lo banim umetu. Rab Huna amar kayam pirya v'ribiya. Rabbi Yochanan amar lo kiyam. Ismar hayu. Okay. Ismar hayu lo banim ubanot. Rabbi Huna amar kiyam pirya v'ribiya lo kiyam. Rab Huna amar kiyam. Okay. Rab Huna amar kiyam mishum de Rabbi Asi. De amar Rabbi Asi. Ein ben David ba ad shichlu. This is a very significant word. Vayichulu, right? Vayichulu. Yud kaf lamed. Yerusha keter leolam haba. נותן לך ירושה וקושר אם אתה עושה כן. א' בינה גמול דלים הקדוש ברוך הוא ה' ו' זן אותך וכן אותך ומטיב לך ונותן לך ירושה וקושר לך כתר לעולם הבא. בן דוד בא עד שיכלה כל נשמות שיכלו כל נשמות שבגוף. שנאמר also, maybe just to remember, Asi, Rabbi Asi has the word Samech in it. And Samech is the beginning and end. Like you begin a circle, it's the word Sof. Sof, you come back to the beginning. You go full circle. Amar Rabbi Asi ben David ba. Ba. עד שיכלו כל נשמות שבגוף. שנאמר כי לא לעולם ארי ולא לנצח אקצוף, כי רוח מלפני יעטוף. נשמות אני עשיתי. אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא נפשות רבות וחסרונן כמו שבראת לחי בהם נפש כל חי ברוכי עולמים. רבי יוחנן אמר לא כי הם פריה ורבייה לשבת. Okay, so this is, I have to go over this. B'ezrat Hashem hadran alach ki ruach milfanai yetov. How does that mean? En ben David ba ad shichlu kol neshamot shebaguf shene'emar ki ruach milfanai ye'atov. ונשמות אני עשיתי. Just have it on the same line, maybe to help with concentration. כי רוח מלפני יהיה טוב ונשמות אני עשיתי. Hashem is saying, I made the neshamot, and ein ben David ba ad shichlu kol neshamot shebaguf. I don't know. I do not know. Okay. יבמות סמך בית עמוד א'. Say that to the best. Okay, Baruch Adonai